Frank Payne.
Hi, I'm Maya Mohin.
And this is Showbuzz. Every week on Showbuzz, we like to recap one of our favorite shows.
And this week we're focused on The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 4, Here's Not Here. So we're really excited to welcome our friend Kevin to the show today. He's joining us from Harleysville, Pennsylvania via Google Hangouts. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Yep. Hi. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Now, as we all know, Morgan has become a bit of a pacifist over the last couple episodes, and this episode touched on the reasons why that happened. So, what do you think?
When I realized that this was a 90-minute episode about Morgan's backstory, I wasn't really feeling it.
Get on with it!
But after the 90 minutes, I really loved it.
I think that looking at the feedback online today, like a lot of people were kind of frustrated.
Yes! Get on with it!
You know, because they liked the episode, but obviously there was a lot of open-ended things, the biggest being Glenn. And so I think people were a little frustrated that they now have to wait.
So I was a little upset because why would they introduce Glenn's death in the last episode and did not follow up on that? Glenn is a major character in The Walking Dead, and for them to just leave that floating out there, I thought that was really wrong. And nothing against Morgan, but I didn't need to see 90 minutes of Morgan's backstory.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the episode. I really did. And Morgan's a character that I like, and I thought that it actually made him a little more interesting, you know.
Given what this episode turned out to be, I think it was a nice detour from the current events.
They should have done this episode either earlier or later, after they clear up the whole Glenn thing. You just can't introduce Glenn's death and then not follow up on that.
So at the beginning of the episode, we see Morgan at a really low point in his life. You see him almost having this breakdown.
I'm not sure if that mental breakdown was right after he had lost Dwayne, his son, and it was definitely after he had lost Jenny, his wife.
I believe that the apartment you see him in when it jumps to the previous events is the same place that you saw him in back in season 3.
You saw him yelling at a mystery person.
Yeah, like he kept saying clear, which we come to find out what that means. But a few other phrases that we just didn't know.
He was saying stuff like, he was saying, you had the gun, you had the knife, and you were supposed to, and I was trying to decipher, is that Rick that he was addressing in his head, or who was that?
Well, then who the hell else are you talking? Talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here.
I personally think he had lost it at that point. He was talking to Dwayne and Jenny. He was so mad at their deaths that he was saying, you had the knife, you had the gun, meaning you should have protected yourself. And since they couldn't protect himself, he was channeling all that anger towards the ghost of his deceased.
Oh, that's kind of sad. Would you be mad at me?
Yeah, I would be.
Really? You'd be mad?
I'd be mad, yeah, especially if I felt like you could have saved yourself. And I'm sure it's one of those things where it's directed in the wrong way.
I remember when they showed him interacting with his son, he was very strict with him. He really he had rules for him and he wanted him to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that makes a lot of sense that he was, even though his son is long gone, he's still, telling him you had the knife, you had the gun, you were supposed to, So his son is still a presence in his mind.
So in this episode, we finally got to meet Morgan's cheesemaker friend, the person he referred to in the second episode this season. And this is Eastman. He had this entire setup with a sweet little goat, Tabitha. I love Tabitha. So Kevin, what did you think of Eastman?
I thought that Eastman was a great character. For only being in, one episode and having never met him before, I thought he was awesome. I thought they did a great job of really, telling you who he is and what his experience, was and has been in this apocalypse.
Yeah, it was really cool because they only needed this one episode to introduce Eastman, and you were already involved with the character.
From his origin story to his death and the aftermath of it and how he's been able to kind of pass on his, beliefs and stuff.
This was like the Walking Dead movie episode.
I didn't notice that the 90 minutes went by that fast.
With the show, that a lot of it is you see, a lot of these characters, what were their lives before, and how did that, affect how they reacted to this apocalypse, this zombie apocalypse that is put upon them,
so this is a great actor that's portraying this role, really did such a great job expressing this humanity. And that humanity is not about treating zombies well, it's about staying true to who you are and what your beliefs are.
John Carroll Lynch, I thought he did a great job, delivering, because he had a lot of monologues where he just had to deliver a lot of, because Morgan wasn't really giving him a lot of feedback, so he just was talking to Morgan and trying to engage him.
Eastman was a really likable character. He seemed really normal, he was funny, he was sarcastic.
He was abnormally...
well-adjusted for...
He was abnormally well-adjusted for a zombie apocalypse.
When we first saw Morgan in that cage, I was like, why the heck does this guy have a cage in his cabin? Like, it just seemed very strange. And then I was glad, like, when they finally addressed it later in the episode.
So it seemed to me that Eastman led Morgan to believe that he didn't really do anything to that prisoner, when it turns out that he really did. He did go capture him, and he did starve him to death. So basically, Eastman lied to Morgan.
Morgan was in a fragile state.
So, Kevin, what do you think about that? Do you think that Morgan was lied to by Eastman?
I mean, because maybe at that point he was trying to gain Morgan's trust, and he mentioned that he was a trained psychiatrist. So, clearly he diagnosed Morgan's psyche and was almost treating him as a patient at that point. So I think that's part of the reason he may not have revealed his true, part of the story.
Yeah, I agree. I think Eastman was being really measured with Morgan. He was being very careful about what he shared, when he shared it, how much he was sharing. Like, the first few days that Morgan was in his cabin, they didn't even speak, because I think he was just assessing him and kind of giving him space to come down off of whatever rage thing was happening with him.
That was so funny when he revealed to him that the door had been open the whole time.
So something I really liked about Eastman was his code of ethics and his sense of humanity, and how he tried to teach that to Morgan.
Yeah, that was demonstrated when Eastman gave Morgan the book, The Art of Peace, which was written by the founder of Aikido. I think Dale and Eastman would have been BFFs.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, that was ultimately what pulled Morgan back from the brink.
Mm-hmm.
So, within that context, you saw the value of it. But by the end of the episode, you kind of started to second guess a little bit. Is that really the way to go in this world?
So it was revealed at the end of the episode that Morgan was talking to one of the wolves, the actual wolf that he captured in that house.
That I hoped he had killed.
I'm not sure if this whole pacifist thing with Morgan's gonna work.
I can't imagine how Rick is going to tolerate it.
Yeah, I believe it puts the whole group at jeopardy.
Yeah, I think that's gonna come back to bite the whole group. Literally, probably. That guy that he's got chained up and trapped down there is a psychopath and is beyond any sort of saving, but clearly Morgan doesn't believe that. Is something that happens in Alexandria, or his frustration with Rick, is that going to cause a break again? And is he going to revert back to that idea that people need to be cleared?
We'll see, because he's now left this wolf who has clearly said he's going to kill everybody, every man, woman, and child in this community.
He's shackled, but at the same time, I mean, the man's clearly stated, that he's going to kill everybody in that city. So you can't keep that person there. You gotta either let him go or you gotta kill him. You just can't keep him there. So we wanted to thank you, Kevin, for stopping by and talking to us a little bit about The Walking Dead.
This was so fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye.
So that was our show. What did you guys think of Morgan's evolution? Let us know in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check us out on social media, Facebook and Twitter. And visit our website, UnderCurrentAtlanta.com.
Bye. See you guys next week.
Bye. See you later.
Happy birthday, dear Boo Boo Bear. Happy birthday.